Yes, I was very angry. I was extremely angry.
I told her to sleep on it.
Yeah, I immediately called Alfred and I was like, I can't do this. No, 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 no. Alfred told me to sleep on it. I'm like, no, I made my decision.
Hello, and it's time for another Natalie and Alfred sitting in a tree. Natalie doesn't like the way I say Natalie. Natalie and her mom tells me I mustn't say Natalie, I must say Natalie.
Oh, stop it.
What? How do you say the name?
Natalie.
So believe first Natalie. Natalie.
Natalie. Natalie. Not Natalie. Natalie.
I speak the way I speak. When a Frenchman comes and says, "Is Natalie?" then are you going to tell him, no, it's Natalie?
No, I'm going to tell him keep going on.
Yeah, of course. Double standards is because I'm a South African man. Anyway, so today I thought we would speak about red flags. So like, because recently Natalie got hit by and yet we get cheated a lot actually. You know, it's not like I thought about it today. Like we because we're in our own thing. Because I've been in my own thing for so long. I've had some bad experiences with people, and you know the thing is, Natalie is now starting to experience that. But in life, you get that. You know, like it's like there's like. Things go sour, or people are just like not what you thought they were gonna be, or people don't, you know, hold their word.
Look, I'm to correct you. I'm not just I'm not starting to experience it. I've always experienced it.
Yes.
Just now that I'm doing my own thing, it's like somehow it seems worse.
Yes, because you are more invested now, especially with like. But I mean, it happens in one's personal life as well. So the topic is red flags, and following your gut and your experience in life to sort of avoid certain types of people or certain
disappointments at
disappointments.
The end.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like with me, in my personal life, I'm sure it was with you as well. In dating, you get that a lot. I always go.
But you overlook it because you're like,
yes.
Oh, maybe I'm just being silly. Oh, you know, maybe my past experiences just making me make this terrible decision. I don't know.
I think especially with you, like women, I find that, and with Natalie, I found that she went through a couple of bad relationships, obviously in her past, whatever make you. So she has triggers, and when she met me, she expected those things, and so that's why we struggled a bit, right? Because I was a wonderful man. Anyway. So like it takes like with women, especially South African, it's very sad to say, probably a global thing. They have lots of bad experiences, so like you can't blame a girl for like being a cheat.
I definitely don't think it's a female thing though. I think that
I had some terrible experiences.
I think it's a general thing. It's definitely not men go through that too, and then they're too scared to go into the next relationship because like what if it happens again? What if she? But when you do go into the relationship and you get the red flags, it's like somehow because you're so in love or you think that you're in love, you overlook it.
Rose-colored glasses. So like sometimes like with me, I remember in my 20s, especially in my 20s when I was starting to work, right? There was a lot of that because there's also a lack of maturity and you haven't seen a lot in the world. Because my parents were strict that you can't have a girlfriend before you finish primary, like high school. And then like you have a high school girlfriend and then after that you get into relationships with people that are also working. That I wasn't prepared for. So there was a lot of like naivete. Like, and then you see the red flags, but also loneliness is a hell of a thing. And men don't say this, but we get very lonely as well. So like when you're lonely, you overlook certain things.
Yeah.
I used to I went out on a date with a girl. Nah? And at it was the third or fourth time, and it was nice, it was fine. Listen, it was okay. But then the waitress at this little restaurant brought her water without ice, and she lost it on this waitress. And I was like, that is a heavy reaction, but because you find yourself in the moment, you
try and look for excuses.
Yes.
Oh, maybe she was actually like, maybe the waiter should have known. No. But like, then afterwards you think about it, then you're like,
you go, no, I should have seen that. Then we dated for like 3 months after that. I remember my brother meeting her the first time. The first time my brother went, Ooh, he texted me on the way out of my apartment. He came to visit me. She was there. He met her quickly. It was nice. He left because other people can see your red flags. You don't always see it first.
Yeah.
It takes time and experience to see these red flags. And like your gut, you're ignoring it because either you're lonely or the girl is pretty or the guy's got a nice family. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen girls go out with a guy that is an arsehole because their parents are nice. You know what I mean? That happens. So like I go, Jason leaves and Jason goes, ooh, text, ooh, near my friend. Jy sal moet cable ties on jou liar sit because that girl doesn't need to be close to a knife. Sy gaan vir jou steek. And Stroos Bob, that girl she had real anger issues. Like she was angry. Like she wanted to hit people like angry. Anyway, but the story we want to get to is red flags in business. So like Natalie, you can tell your story. I'll start. I've had many red things where I ignored the red flags. I ignore my gut feeling. I think you always go in, good people always go in thinking the best of people. So my philosophy is always, and I'm sure that there's been situations in business where people don't like me. There must be, because I'm not perfect. But I've never, in my view, I've never hurt people financially. It's always been a fair thing. I've always tried to walk away from relationships knowing that I've done the best I could. Now, I've dealt with people where we've had disagreements on things and I'm like, yeah, this isn't right, that isn't right, because you must stand up for yourself. Otherwise, this business will trample you. You have to stand up for yourself. And those people probably think that I'm a terrible human. But they have no evidence to prove that because I've never robbed people of money. That's my thing. My thing is always you must do the best you can for people in any relationship, personal or in business, so that when it doesn't work out, you've most done everything you could. Now you must walk away. I've had a situation, and Natalie knows who these people are, obviously, because she's my wife, but there's been things in my work days when I was still working in a day job, where I was in the office where I go like, this person is so nice to me here, but they're stabbing me in the back. Bloody hell, right? And then you hear it later from your bosses that this person said this to them. And so like, I always thought that work environments weren't great, because when I was working in marketing, because we're all competing for the same senior job, your friends and colleagues that you think are cool, you start out cool, that animosity grows because people are competitive. And then it brings the worst out in people. And because they dangle a carrot in a lot of these businesses, and I mean the good ones excluded, there's, say for example, in brand management, I always used to say, there's 20 brand managers. There's one group brand manager. Or 4 group pro. Now those 20 people must fight for that 4 positions. It's between me and you, my friend. We work together every day, but it's between you and me. And then things get ugly. And you must always read the red flags on people. Some of them will tell you early on who they are. People that talk about Skinner to you, Skinner about you. It's like that. So in my professional life, in comedy, it's been I've lost a lot of money. Once I had I dealt with some people that I did work for and that owed me a huge amount of money that I still haven't seen. I've dealt with situations, and then I look back at it now and I go, I should have known, because that person was never really good to me. You know what I mean? I've dealt with people where they have, things like that. I mean, it happened a lot. I don't want to say, because like these examples are so obvious, like people will know exactly who I'm talking about, because the world is small in Joburg. But it happened to Natalie this week. And I said, because I'm a husband and I was looking from outside, that the people that she was dealing with, that she's known for a long time, from the get-go, 2, 3, 4, whatever years, I always used to say, people show you who they are. You must believe them. When they treat you badly here on the small things, get out early. Take your heart out of the game if it's personal relationships. Get out of the deal if it's a professional relationship, because it's gonna get worse. And when it comes down to it, they're gonna slam you. Natalie het geld verloor die week. And
and you know, I think it all. If I can just go back a couple of steps, I mean, if this was years ago, like when I was still like just starting out, whatever, I would have fought the battle.
Yes.
Because I was just at a stage in my life where I had nothing to lose. You know, not that I have anything right now, but I mean, I'm just saying, like I would have gone back. I would have been horrible, because that's who I was when I was younger. I was very argumentative. I was very like, don't fight me on this, I will fight back. You know, I was that was how I was where my career was concerned. And today I look at it so differently. Yes, I was very angry. I was extremely angry.
I told you to sleep on it.
Yeah, I immediately called Alfred and I was like, I can't do this. No. Alfred told me to sleep on it and I'm like, no, I made my decision. My decision was to step back. My decision was to not fight. My decision was to choose my battles this time around.
Yes.
And you know, and I think it's also correct me if I'm wrong, maybe a little bit of maturity.
Yes.
Now that I've sort of
maturity.
I'm doing my own thing. I need to make right decisions, or I need to make better decisions. Not that it's always right, but I need to think about things, whatever. But I made this decision because I knew that if I had to fight back, what is it going to give me? What is it going to give me my money? No, it won't, whether I fought back or not. Because the people that I deal with were just, you know, they were looking for reasons not to pay me. But anyway, nonetheless, information aside, the fact of the matter is, choose your battles, because
Yes.
not everything
Is worth the fight.
It's not worth a fight.
Some fights
and
are
I
worth
just-
it, some fights are not.
Yeah, I made the decision to step back because it wasn't worth it. It wasn't. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I will rather be hungry for a month to have to deal with this.
Sometimes
in
you
my
want to
life.
walk away with
I'm
your
just like,
dignity.
I don't need it. So I've had to make that very tough decision, even though I needed the money. I still do. But you know what? Sometimes in life, you got to think about it, and
You gotta walk away, especially in a world that is so, you know, the world is small now with social media, right? So like whenever I do deals and it goes badly, I have to really be careful and think, is this worth the fight? Now sometimes it's worth the fight because it's a scrap and that's what it is. And I am the type of person that both of us, we've had to really tone ourselves down because we are fighters.
Oh my word. The two of us are...
We want to get into
we
want to get into the argument, but you go through life and you take a couple of knocks because you go, sometimes you don't really have what it takes to take the fight on, one, or it's not worth it, two, and when it is worth it, my view is simple. I tell Natalie now as well, I hate it when people go, my friend John Flismus told me this, name drop, my friend John Flismus told me, Alfred, if the fight is worth it, you don't threaten people. The first communication that they get from you after you've tried everything to solve the thing amicably, you don't say, I'm going to call a lawyer. Never do that. Never do empty threats. When you are at that point and the fight is worth fighting and it's R1 million or whatever it is, or it's your house or it's about your child or whatever, there's a point at which you just call a lawyer and the first thing they get is an official letter from Feinstein and Brokolovic, and that's how you do it. And I've seen him do it, and I go like, yeah, that is what it is. It's horrible when it gets to that.
It's worth nothing.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It makes you look
sometimes
even more worse than what it actually is.
Yeah, sometimes you win the fight, you get the money, but you feel dirty. Because you had to make a pestakel out of yourself. You were screaming at someone in front of other people, or it got so ugly and heated that now you can't do business with him or his associate or her or associates again. Also, other people are also always watching and looking at your character. And in those moments and I found in those moments of conflict, more people are watching than what you think. And when you are calm, and you are trying to solve the problem amicably and in a decent manner, and someone, you don't want to be the one flaring up. because people are looking at you and they go, oh well, that is how this person conducts themselves under stress in a bad situation. I want to do business with that guy again in the future. But if you go in there screaming, I've done that and lost business out of the altercation because the industry I'm in is so small, then it knocks on. Then it hurts me in the long run, because even though I was right, the way I reacted was a bit too volatile, and it makes people a bit apprehensive now of doing business with you. So these are the things you have to think about. But my big thing is red flags.
Imagine if you had to retaliate with regards to the issue.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Let's just end that conversation right there. Thank you. I want to take that out. That is nothing to do with me. So there was also a situation that had nothing to do with me, and I had to go, this argument is not about me. My name is involved in this, and in fact this is the first time I speak about it publicly. My name is involved in this, but in the long and short of it, this is between that organization and these people and not about me. And I did everything fairly. There was an independent audit. Now the thing, people are going to Google the hell out of it. And truth be told, I walked away the better for it. Natalie wasn't very happy.
Thank goodness I didn't say anything.
But that was like a...
Thank goodness I didn't
that
say
was
anything.
not actually...
I would have made it worse.
Yes,
Yeah.
and also, it wasn't about us at
It
all.
wasn't. It wasn't about
At
you.
all, my name was just in the mix. Anyway. So yeah, that was the thing. Red flags. Do you have any funny stories about the relationship where you should have seen a red flag? Because I do. Oh, I've got tons.
No.
Natalie always used to say, why did I used to like a crazy cunt?
I'm starting
love a
to
crazy
feel like
I love a crazy cunt too.
Well, all I'm saying is that Jason loves me, so...
Yeah, my brother Jason had difficulty with all my girlfriends and with Natalie, house on fire. Like from day one. And I think it's also the fact that you're a bit more mature. I don't know what it is.
maybe.
Not nuts. Listen, I had a girl flood my...
I wasn't nuts when I was younger. I wasn't nuts. No.
No, but I had a
I didn't
situation.
flood
No, Natalie
anybody's
doesn't tolerate the drama. She would just walk away.
I don't have
So like I had a cunt once flood my apartment. I don't like to speak about this. My dad hates it when I speak about exes. He says he's got a daughter now, and I must respect her, and I mustn't speak about exes. He wants to hear fuck all about
So
it.
you're gonna get a call when he's on my side.
He's always on your side. Anyway, my thing is that I've had like a girl put a hose pipe through one of my apartments. I've had a girl fight with the ice. I've had a girl rock up at my house like 3 o'clock in the morning, just standing outside my window crying with no tears. Mala mensa. Then I did nothing. People always go, what did you do? I was good and kind to people. Me, beautiful soul. And you?
I don't have any of those dramatic stories.
Of course you do. You will net come spully. You will spully.
I don't.
But I've had a lot of personal confrontations. Final words about red flags for younger people that are getting into business, and you're 18 years old and you're a young girl and you want to be an entrepreneur and whatever.
2 things I want to say. Choose your battles and follow your gut. When your gut tells you something, don't doubt it. Just follow it. You're always right.
Yes, absolutely. Your brain is a funny thing. Your brain has a subconscious that subconscious remembers things that doesn't come up to you. Like in my view, I'm not like a psychologist or anything, but I believe that there's a subconscious, and there's things happening there in the back, and those instincts when you feel like there's danger, even though there's no obvious danger, or you get a feeling or a tingling, rather walk away from things. I just yesterday walked away from a deal that I thought initially would be good for me and us. And there was money on the table, and it's very difficult to say no to money right now. We all struggling.
Did you say no to it?
I had to say no to it.
Didn't you?
I told you I was going to say no. Because I could feel, because of my past experiences, I could feel the language, I could feel that this middle person is, or the middle of the party in the middle, the business in the middle between me and the principal, I could feel that all those negative feelings came back, and I was like, let me rather walk away here and this is probably not. This one is not for us. That has been so.
Sometimes you gotta make that hard decision. There's people out there that just literally takes everything in.
You just grab it all.
And they are literally guinea pigs to the whole world. But I mean, sometimes you also just gotta like choose your brand or create your own brand and not be out there.
Let me tell you a good trick. Save your money. If you have enough savings in a bank account, it doesn't have to be a fortune, just enough to take you through 2 or 3 months without having to, then you're in a position to say, it's lovely this money and I want it, but no thank you, because it's not good for me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's a poison chalice. It comes to bite you in the back later. You do not goede wat niemand wil sien nie. And then later on, I've had that, but I can speak like that because I've had some nicks and scratches. But anyway, trust your gut and save some money. See you next time.